All right, guys, what you see here is 660 ounces of silver, a little bit of gold, worth over $27,000, and I'm gonna show you how to get this through TSA without losing it.
International Stacker.
I travel the world buying gold and silver. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications because I give away free gold and silver all the time. I'm gonna pack this up in a suitcase and I'm gonna show you how to get through the airport, give you some tips and tricks, and show you how to be safe, preserve your wealth, and not lose it to anybody with sticky fingers. Let's pack this stuff up.
Now I'm going to be giving you advice for both international and domestic travel in this video.
All right, guys, here's all 45 pounds of silver. Of course, I'm not gonna take it in this one carry-on. This is the biggest load I've ever taken through the airport, and I'm gonna break this between 2 backpacks and 2 carry-ons. And the trick is to put big, bulky items in here, like stuffed animals, freaking Fivel, or dirty clothes, or clean clothes, or like shoes are good too, because you can put shoes at the bottom and put the tubes in it. Oh no, the aftermath. Just to keep it sturdy and from rolling around. This is 100% gonna get searched at the airport, and I'm gonna show you how to navigate that next. Okay, so half the silver's packed. You see I put like shoes and put some tubes in there. I got the bag. These are the carry-ons. Then I got this Rat Stacker 5-0, but see, silver's underneath it. Just big, bulky, but easy to search. And then I'm gonna put all this stuff between a couple backpacks. All right, guys, headed to TSA security checkpoint. Let's go. Bam.
Now this is the part that's always a little nerve-wracking because you never know who you're gonna get and what level of training they have. However, I have never had a problem in the United States. Now with large amounts of silver and gold like this, if they want to pull everything out of the bag, you can always ask for a private room. I've done that before and they've always provided it no problem. I didn't have to do it this time because I packed the bags correctly. I've had 2 disaster situations or near disaster situations. One was with a kilo bar of silver. It's not this particular kilo bar. So I had gone through the security already in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, when you're traveling to another country with stricter rules, so if you're going from Saudi Arabia like Riyadh to UK, EU, the United States, you have to go through secondary security. When I went through the secondary security, the guard grabbed my kilo. And it was kind of like this. It said El Ittihad Silver. I'd bought it in Dubai. He grabbed my kilo and set it up on the desk. And I'll show this clip now. And it took a couple minutes of me sweating like, what the heck? He wasn't talking to me. Then a supervisor came over and kind of like looked at him like he was dumb, like, what the heck? And he said in Arabic, it's silver, it's not gold, give it back. Had it been an actual kilo of gold, it would have been a problem because Saudi Arabia has a limit of how much gold you can actually leave the country with. And again, why it's important to really do that homework. And I actually gave that kilo bar of silver away to one of you guys. Not the first time I've done that. It was one of my mega GAWs, G-A-W short for giveaway. And I do give away silver and gold literally all the time. I do live streams every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and maybe you'll be leaving with some of this or some of this. I also had another incident in Maryland. If you see this poured silver, I was traveling with the majority of my poured silver. I'm moving it from one location to another, and it was just all in a bag. They really wanted to go through. So when they're searching your bag, if they're really going piece by piece, ask for a private room because you don't want everyone else seeing what you got going on. So I did that, and they were digging, and in there they found 2 of these. It's a 1-ounce silver bullet. I completely spaced it that I had this in there. And you see here, it even looks like it has the primer on there, and it's even stamped similar, but obviously it says 999 AG 1 ounce. It was a little sketchy there. Luckily, cooler heads prevailed, and I was able to leave with both of them. But moral of the story is, if you have silver that looks like weapons or ammo, best just fly under the radar. I wouldn't have flown with it if I had remembered I had it in the bag, but I did. But guess what? I got through it. Nothing happened, and I have a good story for you guys. So I guess it's not all negative there. Now, let me break down the differences for you between domestic and international travel. And while I do that, I'm going to show you some of my favorite pieces of silver from my poured silver collection here. Now, up front, I'm going to tell you that domestic travel is way easier than international travel. And I'm going to give you the rules predominantly for the United States. So know that you need to check each country's respective website for immigration to see the particulars for each country, but honestly, a lot of the stuff like the limits is the same, and I'll get more into that now. Most countries for entering the country, and some even for leaving, have a limit of cash or monetary instruments you can travel with before you have to declare. In the United States, that limit is 10,000 US dollars, and that does include gold and silver. And when I say it includes gold and silver, it's based on the market value, not the face value. And this is a common misconception out there. People think that US coins like gold eagles, their denomination is $50. And they think they can just declare $50. No, it has to be the market value of the metals. I'm sorry, that's not a popular opinion, but it's the truth. I'm trying to save you guys some pain, because if you play this game and do not declare, and let me focus on this gold scarab I made with MK bars. This is about a ½ ounce of gold. But if you play this game and don't declare, and then they find it, at the very least, you'll get fined. At the worst, they're gonna fine you and take it from you. I really don't want you guys to have to deal with that. Now, there's something that's very real that's called civil asset forfeiture. So that's why whenever I'm traveling with metals to and from, whether I'm going domestic or international, I always try my best to bring the receipts of the gold and silver with me when I'm moving it around. That way I can prove that I actually bought it from a reputable place. Because again, civil asset forfeiture is meant to prevent cash from terrorism and drug trade and stuff, but a lot of innocent people could fall in there, and then it's a pain to prove it. So let's just avoid that from the very start. You need to also make sure to pack your items securely, separate from your personal items. You saw how I did it in the video, and you saw how it worked and how easy the search was. Now imagine if I had it in the same bag as laptops and cords and cables and all this stuff. It would have been a nightmare. Here's a gold nugget, check that out. Now always remember, you never want to put gold or silver in your checked bag ever. Please don't learn the hard way. Remember, always check the destination country's custom rules online. Avoid hiding assets and be honest with the officials. And also remember too to check the country's exemptions. For instance, some might not count personal jewelry as part of that 10,000. So again, look at each country in particular on their website, and remember to always be polite. One of the easiest things is just not to travel with more than $10,000 in gold and silver and cash. I mean, that's the easy way to do it. I have never had a situation where I have had to declare what I'm traveling with when I'm traveling domestically. This is only a thing for international travel when you're sometimes leaving a country, but most of the time coming into the country is where this comes into play. However, there could be some countries out there that I've not been to that might have that requirement. So that's again why it's important to really do your homework. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable if you're traveling domestically or internationally. And remember, rules, laws, and regulations change all the time. So be sure to do your homework before you travel. Please like, comment, subscribe, because we travel the world buying gold and silver, and you're welcome on this adventure with us. And I guess I'll say, catch you on the next one. Woo!
One stacker.